Bawas kilid mo.
colonization.
Nag-text, nabasa ko na dia.
The family is also threatened by growing efforts on the part of some to redefine the very institution of marriage by relativism, by the culture of the ephemeral, by a lack of openness to life. Pienso en el Beato Pablo VI.
I think of Paul VI, Blessed Paul VI,
En un momento donde se le proponía el problema del crecimiento de la población,
in a moment of that challenge of the growth of populations,
tuvo la valentía
he had the strength
de defender la apertura a la vida de la familia.
to defend openness to life.
Él sabía las dificultades que había en cada familia, por eso en su carta encíclica era tan misericordioso con los casos particulares.
He knew the difficulties that families experience, and that's why in his encyclical he expressed compassion for particular cases.
Y pidió a los confesores que fueran muy misericordiosos y comprensivos con los casos particulares.
And he taught professors to be particularly compassionate with particular
Pero él
cases.
miró más allá,
But he went further.
miró a los pueblos de la tierra
He looked to the peoples beyond
y vio esta amenaza de destrucción de la familia por la privación de los hijos.
he saw the lack and the problem that it could cause families in the future.
Pablo VI era valiente,
Paul VI was courageous.
era un buen pastor
He was a good pastor,
y alertó a sus ovejas
and he warned his
sobre los
sheep,
lobos que venían.
and he warned his sheep about the wolves that were approaching.
Que desde el cielo nos bendiga esta tarde.
And from the heavens he blesses us today.
Our world needs good and strong families to overcome these threats. The Philippines needs holy and loving families to protect the beauty and truth of the family in God's plan and to be a support and example for others' families. Every threat to the family is a threat to society itself. The future of humanity, as St. John Paul II often said, passes through the family. The future passes through the family. So protect your families. Protect your families. See them your country's greatest treasure and nourish them always by prayer and the grace of the sacraments. Families will always have their trials, but may you never add to them. Instead, by living examples of love, forgiveness, and care. Be sanctuaries of respect for life, proclaiming the sacredness of the every human life from conception to natural death. What a gift this will be society if every Christian family lived fully its noble vocation. So, rise with Jesus and Mary and set out on the path the Lord traces for each of you. Finally, the Gospel we have heard reminds us of our Christian duty to be prophetic voices in the midst of our communities. Joseph listened to the angel of the Lord and responded to God's call to care for Jesus and Mary. In this way, he played his part in God's plan and became a blessing not only for the Holy Family, but a blessing for all humanity. With Mary, Joseph served as a model for the boy Jesus as he grew in wisdom, age, and grace. When families bring children into the world, train them in faith and sound values, and teach them to contribute to society, they become a blessing in our world. A family can become a blessing to the world. God's love becomes present and active by the way of love and by the good works that we do. We extend Christ's kingdom in this world, and in doing this, we prove faithful to the prophetic mission which we have received in baptism. During this year, which your bishops have set aside as the year of the poor, I would ask you as families to be especially mindful of our call to be missionary disciples of Jesus. This means being ready to go beyond your homes and to care for your brothers and sisters who are the most in need. I ask you especially to show concern for those who do not have a family of their own. In particular, those who are elderly and children without parents. Never let them feel isolated, alone, and abandoned, but help them to know that God has not forgotten them. Hoy quedé sumamente conmovido en el corazón después de la misa.
I was very moved after the Mass today.
Cuando visité ese hogar de niños solos, sin familia.
When I visited that shelter, that home for children who had no parents.
¿Cuánta gente trabaja en la iglesia para que ese hogar sea una familia?
How many people in the church work so that that house is a home, a family?
Esto significa llevar adelante proféticamente qué significa una familia.
This is what it means to take forward prophetically the meaning of a family.
You may be poor yourself in material ways, but you have an abundance of gifts to offer when you offer Christ and the community of His church.